the Pinfall Podcast. I am your host, Liz. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Rootin' Tootin' Rodeo Balloon Master, Marcus.
Hi. That's me.
I also have the special guest host, Pepita, sitting right below my feet.
Ah, she's here to sabotage.
Yes.
Bite all the wires.
She's going to take us off the air.
Oh, good. She's in the wrong room to do that, though.
She doesn't know.
Yeah, figures.
There are actually quite a few wires in this room right now. She is dancing between all of them.
So, we had an NXT today.
Boy, oh boy. You remember when NXT was
Fun.
tolerable?
Remember when NXT gave us an extra 10 minutes every week just so that they could give us more and add more time to the main event? Just for the sake of us having fun.
I'm not having a good time. I'm not having the best time that I could be having at this point.
There were some positives in the episode. Like, that main event was awesome. Carmelo versus Pete Dunn was sick as fuck.
Yeah, that was an awesome match.
It's
right by the microphone.
Seeing Solo Sakoa was cool. A feud between Raquel and Dakota seems interesting.
Dakota definitely seems to be doing totally fine.
Yeah.
Definitely not having any problems lately.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Diamond Mine is still as shitty as ever.
Oh, pain.
Has there been a match where they haven't interjected at all? Probably not. But Miriam said Dakota taking cues from another New Zealand legend, Gollum.
Right.
Let's see, what else happened today? No Santos Escobar, despite Legado being there.
Where the fuck is he?
No Ciampa besides a little vignette. Barely any Imperium 2. We got a very subdued Chase University. And
I thought it was a subdued Chase University, but it really was still quite high strung.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, everything else was pretty much uneventful. None of it really mattered. So, why don't we just get into the news?
Pull up the news. I've got to pull up the news. I've got to change the sign. There's so many things I have to do.
Yeah.
Man.
Such a shame.
Going through it a little bit. Hey, y'all. Here's some news. First piece of news. We've only got 3 pieces of news, actually. First piece of news is White did an interview with Sean Ross Sapp, which was really kind of funny because he looks so he just looked so fucking tired, so done with everything that had been happening. Apparently he said specifically that he's never been approached by AEW. The only thing that has been true, because there was a story I guess that came out that was AEW approached him around the time that the WWE were driving hard to the hoop, and he had to decline on the basis that he had 7-year contract with NJPW, and Jay White said specifically that the only part of that story that's true is that WWE was trying to get him to sign. Just actually kind of the most interesting part of that story to me. Because I'm like, oh shit, like, not only did they get close, apparently, but then they dropped the ball. Which is just stunning. But it's a really funny interview. At least the 2 minutes snippet that I got to see. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but also there is news on Bray Wyatt. Apparently Bray Wyatt is working on a horror feature film. I think is really interesting. I'm really excited for that.
I believe they start shooting at the end of this month or the start of December.
Yeah. Apparently the special effects artist who's been working with Bray on this, Jason Baker, stated that the project is She the Killer meets Xanadu. Which means absolutely nothing to me, but if you're a film buff, it might mean something to you.
Sounds very interesting.
I know to some degree what Xanadu is. Apparently they are also not using any of the Fiend lore in this movie. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what he can kind of like create.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a very excellent mind, and whether he's wrestling or switching over to film, he is going to succeed 100% because he is incredibly creative, incredibly talented dude. So
that's not the reason why he got picked at the end of the day. It was because he had too many opinions and ideas.
Yeah.
And finally, last piece of news I just thought was interesting is that apparently there was plans for Kevin Owens to go back to NXT full time following his surprise appearance at the 2019 WarGames review. Apparently he was supposed to go back full time, and then naturally Vince McMahon changed his fucking mind. I just think that's very curious. Also, apparently his contract is officially set to expire on in February next year. Yep. Oh, not quite the end of the year, but beginning of the new year.
Also, according to PW Insider, John Laurinaitis ran last night's Raw taping after Vince McMahon left. Let me see if there's more on the actual article. Yeah, so John Laurinaitis ran last night's Raw taping in Louisville. Vince was at the taping and ran what was described as a capital letters long production meeting during the afternoon, then left and was not present for the show itself. Bruce Pritchard was not in attendance at the taping, leaving the actual taping itself to be run by Laurinaitis. Matches taped for main event before the show were Austin Theory versus Akira Tozawa and John Morrison versus Shelton Benjamin. And there were no NXT talents backstage.
That's curious.
Also, according to Miriam in the chat, he also said there were plans for Kevin Owens an NXT UK run, which would have been very interesting to see. Yeah, absolutely. Imagine him versus Ilya.
Like, I don't quite get it, but like I do think.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Kevin's the type of talent that wouldn't do poorly in NXT UK.
Him versus Joe Coffey.
Yeah.
Him versus Noam Dar.
Yeah.
Also, I've got something regarding New Japan.
Oh.
What?
I know what you're gonna do, and
It's not about the teams.
Can I announce the teams then?
Sure, but
Yay!
let me talk about this first. So Tetsuya Naito talked about the title situation regarding Shingo Takagi, Will Ospreay, and Okada. And he said, even I, a member of the company, don't understand what's going on, and the audience watching doesn't understand what's going on. Because there's that whole mix-up with the championship. Will Ospreay had to had to vacate it when he was injured or sick, but he still claims to be the champion. Shingo is technically the real champion, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, but Okada says that belt is cursed and wants to bring back the old IWGP World Championship.
Entirely wrong.
There's that whole mix-up, and a lot of it is considered confusing. I would read more into the article, but it is all in Japanese, and I don't speak Japanese.
Well, interesting. Sorry to hear that. Then our final piece of news, now that we're out of order, is that World Tag League, the teams have been announced. It's going to be Tanahashi and Toru Yano together. It's going to be Makabe and Honma. It's going to be Tenzin and Kojima. And then it's going to be Nagata and Tiger Mask. It's going to be Haruki Goto and Yoshihashi. It's going to be Naito, which means that he's fucking coming back. Which, when you're reading these off to me, did not register at all. But that's great.
Mm.
So Naito and Sonata. Obviously Taichi and Zack. We got Suzuki and Taka. And by that we mean Minoru Suzuki. He's coming back too, finally. Khan and Aaron Hanair. And then Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are going to be together, obviously. Evil and Yujiro are going to be together. And then Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens will be pulling up the rear of the Bullet Club. Bit. You will.
Mm.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. I'm really excited for that. Like I've been withering as of late without any Japanese wrestling outside of Saturday.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Thrilled.
All right. So is that all?
Mind if I
news?
get up and grab something real quick?
Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna get into. It's a match, so I can't even really get into it.
I'll be really quick.
Okay. Well, that ends the news segment, though, and that thus begins our recap for tonight's NXT 2.0. We started off. I'm just trying to introduce as much as I can for when Liz gets back. We start off with Toxic Attraction versus Casey Catanzaro, Kaden Carter, and Io Shirai. This match was teased last week after Toxic Attraction attacked Zoe Stark backstage. Apparently, Zoe Stark is injured. She tore her ACL. So Liz.
Hello.
Do you think Zoe Stark actually tore her ACL?
I think so.
/ meniscus?
I don't, that's a hard one for me. I didn't think it was real, and then a lot of reports started coming out kind of implying that it was.
Yeah, I think she actually is injured, but she didn't get injured in the attack like she's saying in kayfabe.
No.
She probably injured it in the ladder match somewhere.
I think they're doing a Wesley kind of thing where they were like, oh, Grizzly Young Veterans broke his hand, but he broke his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think she is injured. I don't think that she is injured because of what she's saying.
Right.
So first match. Yeah, try to read my notes. So we start with Mandy and Kaden Carter. Mandy just kind of ragdolls Kaden. Start off. She takes Io off the apron, which causes Io to jump into the ring and kind of go at Mandy. Eventually, we get Casey and JC Jane. Casey Catanzaro trips JC, and Kaden kicks her, and then Casey flips over the ropes onto JC. They're very standard team offense. Eventually, the thing that I hate, and I hated this, but so she flips over the ropes onto JC Jane. JC Jane reacts like, ow. Then JC pretty much right off the bat gets up, overpowers Casey, drives her into the corner. I was like, okay. I guess maybe it's just like a commentary on the fact that Casey's like this big. I don't like when people no sell that.
Yeah.
Not like there's one way of no selling which is like obvious where it's like, okay, fine. But there's like another way of no selling where it's like it doesn't look like you took the time to think about the fact that you had to sell that.
There's the Ilya Dragunov's no sell, and then there's the Hulk Hogan no sell. The Hogan no sell is trash.
Yeah. So post commercial break, Casey Catanzaro is in with Mandy, and Mandy has some body scissors on Casey. Casey ends up getting free. Mandy tags in Gigi off the back of that. Io gets in, and then Io is just fucking destroying Gigi. She gets she pretty much decimates her with a few good hits here and there, up until Gigi gets a jawbreaker on Io. Mandy gets in, and Io is not really phased by this at all. Gets several shoulder tackles on Mandy, and then a face buster and double knees to the chest. She then hits her, quintessential moonsault, but JC and Gigi break it up, and it's very obvious in that moment that like Io could very handily beat Mandy without like really breaking a sweat, it seems.
Yeah, but she's not going to, unfortunately.
No, I know she's not going to. It's just this match 100% made it seem like that.
Yeah.
Aiden then gets in. She does that. She hits a drop kick. Does that dumb shit in the fucking corner where like
I don't know why you hate it so much. I don't know why you hate it so much.
I think it's so annoying. It's way too structured. Basically, it's the thing where she runs into the person in the corner, like she kind of stacks them in the corner and runs into one falls over. She hits the drop kick against the other person, then falls on the other person. It's just so... It's too structured.
It is just as structured and set up as the 619. Both require the same amount of convenience.
No, because in the 619, you're just... You just need one person to follow suit.
Right, but you need them to fall in a specific place, in a specific way, in a specific position.
You just need them to fall against the ropes, which happens more often in regular wrestling.
They have to specifically fall on the second rope with their head through the ropes, in the middle of the ropes.
I just don't like this move. I don't care for it. Okay. I haven't cared for it since the first time we saw it.
I know.
The first time we saw it, I was like, whatever. But second time, no. So she hits a flatliner onto Gigi. Carter then goes up top, but JC Jane distracts. Io breaks that up. But Gigi takes advantage of the fact that Caden's not paying attention. Hits her with... I don't know the name of Gigi's finisher at this point. Like it was the cage something.
I don't know, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool move. But Gigi hits Kaden with that, and Toxic Attraction win.
I'm looking up her finisher right now, the name of it.
There's something that has cage in it.
No, there is not.
Anything that rhymes with cage.
Uncaged match for only signature is the Tilt-A-Whirl Dragon Sleeper, but that doesn't sound like it.
That doesn't seem like what we saw.
Let's see. Um, where is it? Okay, show me her signature. Okay. There's the osteoporosis, the sling blade from the second turnbuckle, the Roma clutch, which is a tilt-a-whirl dragon sleeper, trapped in sin, a Russian leg sweep to ground octopus hold, a 3-3-3 half Nelson suplex.
Might have been it.
Mark of the Beast, double arm lifting face buster, satellite octopus hold, Bronco buster, Thez press, coast to coast dropkick, diving crossbody, running STO, and swinging side slam. That might be it. I think it's a swinging side slam.
No, because a side slam is more of like a side by side move. This definitely looked more like a side Russian leg.
You think so? Oh, you froze. Uh-oh. Oh no. She froze. This hasn't happened in so long. I thought we were away from this. Liz, what happened? Well, I guess we wait for her to come back. Oh. Did she come back? Is she here? I'm still gonna say it's a swinging side slam, whether Liz agrees or not.
I don't know if I'm gonna stay connected, but
Oh, I can hear you. Okay, now I can see you.
okay. I switched Wi-Fi's, and sometimes that means it like knocks me off the call.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, I still think you're wrong.
Okay. What else is new?
Wow.
All right, so
Anyways,
after that match, we had an interview with Pete Dunn. He says Tony D'Angelo wants to make a name for himself. When he's ready, he can chat face to face with the baddest man in NXT. Trick Mel will walk in, and Trick is like, "Oh, you think you're the baddest?" And he starts going off on him. And then Carmelo says, "Treat the A champion a lot better." And then they start bickering. And then we go to MSK, back to their little storyline. They're wandering the streets looking for a certain somebody. They reach their location, but there's a sign that says that we moved. And so they have to go to 420 miles away. And they decide to take a plane to get there. And Nash Carter says, "I can't wait to join the Mile High Club." And Wes is like, "Is that what that is?" And he's like, "I guess so." He's like, "Hell yeah."
bless him. Who do you think is gonna be the guy?
William Regal.
Dude, I'd cry. I'd honestly cry at this point.
Or Samoa Joe.
Oh, again, I'd cry.
I wish the location... Wait, maybe it's Rob Van Dam, because they said 420.
I think they're just goofballs. I don't think Rob Van Dam has much interest in being a part of the WWE at this point.
Well, I mean, he did the few appearances with Riddle a few months ago.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I've like completely forgotten that. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's Rob Van Dam.
That would
I
be pretty funny.
I also think that they would mesh really well.
That would be really funny. I really hope that it's like somebody fun and not like just someone. I'm gonna be like, oh, you could have found them backstage.
Yeah. It's like it's Von Wagner.
Please, it would be.
Or it's like Rick Steiner.
Well, Rick Steiner was apparently supposed to be at um Halloween Havoc.
Really?
Yeah, according to Tommaso Ciampa, he pulled out at like the last possible second.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Maybe that would have fit in with the storyline, and Braun Breaker would have felt a lot more pressure.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's Rob Van Dam. I think that's who they're seeing.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Rob Van Dam with somebody that I like. Like.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So after that, we then get Kaylie Ray versus Saree.
Yeah, and this was a pretty much jobber match for the most part.
It was a little more than a jobber match, but yeah.
A little more. Yeah. So Kaylie immediately takes a stomping Saree. There's a springboard arm drag to Kaylie and then a double stomp. Kaylie ends up leveling Saree with a few fists. Hits a nasty little DDT off the ropes to Saree. Saree eventually gets like this fucking awful looking, and like awful by like painful looking heel hook where like she's basically pulling the foot of Kaylie Ray up to Kaylie Ray's head. And I said, ooh. No, thank you. Kaylie ends up getting a rope break. There's a big suplex to Ray. No pin, though. And then a big super kick intends to slow Saree down, but Saree hits back with one of her own. Eventually, Saree goes for the drop kick that she so often does. Kaylie avoids it, hanging Saree up on the ropes. She then hits the KLR bomb, which used to be the Gory bomb, into the announce desk, and then hits another one in the ring to win.
Name it something else. That's just not her name. Like,
I just don't know why they changed in the first place.
I don't know, but you're not
Like,
gonna name a Gory bomb. Like name it something cool.
the offending word is technically still there. Like, bomb is the word I would imagine they'd be like, oh, let's take that out.
I imagine gory because, like, you know, blood and gore, gory.
As they advertise episodes of Chucky.
Yeah. Call it the Chucky bomb.
Dude, straight up, I'm so ready for that show to be done because I am going to have nightmares.
I want to watch it.
I want it off my television.
Also, Miriam said that NXT UK used to go back and forth between Gory Bomb and KLR Bomb. Okay.
You would think that we would know that. And yet.
Yeah. Call it the Chucky Bomb, the Bomb Bomb, the K Bomb. The K Bomb. That sounds pretty cool.
That'd be good, yeah.
Okay. Then after that, we had a promo from Joe Gacy. He says, we all go through something when we hide behind a mask. Boa needs to hide his true self. No one should have to hide. I hope that's something he can see. I look at Harland and I see the shame he carries. He should feel comfortable living in his own skin. Reach out and touch your hand to mine, Harland. I'm doing this for us.
Thank you.
I am glad that this has kind of swayed away from being political, and it's now him being kind of this peaceful, a guise of a peaceful character. And there's less. I mean, last week, like just last week, we got like Snowflake and that shit dropped. But this week we didn't really get any of those buzzwords.
Yeah, no, you're right. He's becoming more of a character and less of a caricature.
Right.
Which is all we can hope for at the end of the day, I think. I just... I think that they're gonna go somewhere good with this.
Mhm.
Just right now, I'm still on the fence about it because his intro was so bad.
I know, but I like it because it's kind of the only really long-term storytelling that long-term three-dimensional storytelling that NXT has going on. Unless I'm missing something. I guess the Tony D'Angelo, Mark the producer guy.
Dakota and Raquel.
Oh, yeah, that's not really three-dimensional though.
True.
Not anymore. Okay. After that, we had Boa versus Joe Gacy. Boa's got a new look. He's got face paint, white and black stripes. We saw him.
I didn't see last week, so this week I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, we saw that last week. After Mei Ying is gone, missing.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they've got better plans for Karen.
I hope. But yeah, this was a very short and stupid match.
Yeah, this was a weird one. So Boa kicks Gacy's hand away. We get a side headlock on Boa, then a drop kick to Gacy. Gacy, however, hangs Boa up on the middle rope before hitting a backbreaker. Then Gacy suplexes Boa. Boa, however, gets some knees to the chest of Gacy and then powers up and like chokes Gacy out. And Aja Smith is just like, all right, call the fucking match because he won't fucking let go. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
All right. And then Bo just kind of bopped out. He's like, all right, cool. See you guys later. Got my paycheck for the day.
So now we have two wrestlers whose attitudes change when the lights change. Boa and Finn.
He's in good company?
Also, apparently Finn was pulled from a UK tour show.
Really?
Yeah. No idea why.
That's weird. That's not good
Yeah.
because he is my Survivor series.
I mean, maybe he's just injured. Could be injured. He's not supposed to be at Survivor Series.
Oh, is he not part of the 5-man?
No, I don't think so.
I thought it was all the guys that had been arguing with Big E originally and did the ladder match. I definitely was wrong because Dominic was part of it.
No, that's Raw. Oh, wait, yeah, Finn is on Raw.
Yeah, Finn is on.
Okay, yeah, he's not part of Survivor Series. Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know, but hopefully we see him soon. I keep thinking he's still on SmackDown.
I mean, had you not corrected yourself, I would have just believed you and been like, "Oh yeah, no, he's on SmackDown."
Yeah. So after that, we get a promo from Diamond Mine. They're watching back Kushida and Nickerman's promo from last week, and Bivens says, "Well, these dweebs were pretending to be at Comic-Con. Roddy was beating Odyssey Jones. That same energy Roddy had, the Creed brothers will bring tonight. It's Diamond Mine forever." And then we get Solo Sakoa and Grayson Waller. Grayson said, "Remember the intro I gave you at Halloween Havoc?" Ellie Knight then walks in. He says, "Let's settle this." Or they start arguing, and Solo Sakoa says, "Let's settle this like men in the ring." And then he walks away, and Knight and Grayson still bicker. And that match happens later. And then we get Jacket Time versus the Creed brothers. But
The Greed Brothers.
the Greed brothers. I'm sure Bivens would love to name them that. But Jacket Time, new tag team, like official tag team.
I kind of love it.
Yeah, they're great. I wish they'd won today, but still.
It definitely was because it was a protected loss, I feel good at least.
Was it protect? Because Roddy didn't do anything.
Okay, that doesn't count. I don't know what the fuck happened there.
It's so dumb. Roddy didn't touch Ickerman at all. Anyway.
Ew. Oh, I hate the taste of whiskey. All right. So, let's begin. So first off, Julius nearly kills Ickaman. Quite literally almost dumps him on his fucking head. But Brutus gets in, Kushida gets in. I don't know why I'm reading my notes word for word. I didn't actually take consistent notes through this. Sorry. Let's try this again. So yeah, Julius nearly kills Ickaman. Once Kushida is in, Julius just kind of brutalizes him. We get some rapid tags from the Creed brothers, which I liked. I mean, it's showing that they're kind of growing as a tag team.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the Creed brothers as a team. They've been doing really well.
But the rapid tags pretty much end the moment that Kushida hits a flying back elbow that slows down both the Creeds because he hits both of them. Ickaman gets in with some jacket strikes that knock Brutus down. Both men, Kushida and Ickaman, do Kushida's kind of standard like springboard kick to the head, but to both of the Creeds on the apron. Kushida then flies off the top rope onto Julius back in the ring before crossbodying him. He gets Jiro back in, who sentons onto Julius. Brutus breaks the cover. The jacket gets removed. And then Ickaman Jiro falls out of the ring.
He like screams and falls while the ref's not looking.
Which I can only imagine Roddy tased him. Maybe that's what it comes down to.
Maybe Roddy has telepathy or telekinesis.
Also, can we just say, well, let me finish this. But yeah, so the point is apparently Roddy interfered, causing Jiro to fall out of the ring. And then Julius powerbombs Kushida and stacks him high to win. But I loved in the Diamond Mine promo when Malcolm was talking about Roddy and Roddy just like points to himself. He's like, that's me. I was like, yeah, Roddy, you're the only one here that we probably all know.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so with that said, after that we had, did someone come out for this? Odyssey Jones came out.
Yes.
He started fighting everyone, and a little partnership between him and Jacket Time seems to be forming, and we're getting a 6-man tag next week.
How are we?
Yeah, they had the graphic for Diamond Mine versus Jacket Time and Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
So we then had an interview with Toxic Attraction. Gigi said we're going to be holding these titles for a very long time. Mandy says Toxic Attraction is the attraction. I think Gigi said this. No one is next. No one in the roster is worthy of. She's interrupted by Raquel rolling in on her motorcycle. Raquel says, I'll be back for you later, Mandy. Keep that title warm for me. We go to the ring where Raquel's coming out. She says, while Mandy's holding my title, I have one thing on my mind. Dakota Kai, get your ass out here. Dakota comes out. She says, felt so good to hit you with that shovel. Watching you lay there motionless. Cora Jade runs out and beats up Dakota. And Raquel, after Dakota's chased out, Raquel goes up to Cora and says, you want a piece of her too, but she's mine first. Cora, honey, if you're mad about somebody attacking you or somebody hurting you in a match, you've got a lot to learn about NXT.
Just stay out of the parking lot, Cora.
Yeah. Don't be like Toxic Attraction and see an approaching Raquel. You don't want to be kidnapped like Legato.
Throwing shit over here. All right.
Yeah, you don't want to be whatever Liz just dropped. So we then get Chase University. He is teaching a lesson about mental toughness. He says it can mean the difference between success and failure. Chase U breeds winners. but anything can throw you off unless you have mental toughness. And one of the students says, "Are you saying the issue with the mic took you out of focus?" Another student speaks up, and comments on it. And Chase says, "Are you Gabriel, you dumbass. How dare you come in here half asleep with your hand on your head, or head on your hand? You don't deserve to be in here. Get out of my classroom. Hurry up. Get the hell out." Again, very subdued. No F-bombs this time. Oh, then we get a weird promo. Get a weird segment. So GYV.
Yeah, what's going on?
The grizzled young veterans, soon to be in jail for committing crimes. They're out on the street, and Zach Gibson is teaching James Drake. Well, James Drake says, "I'm starving. Why are we here?" And Zach Gibson says, "That's exactly why we're here, because you're starving. We are doing some urban training," and he's teaching him to distract strangers as Zach Gibson takes their phone, orders food with their phone, and takes the food. I don't get it. Like, this is them committing a crime. And basically, Gibson says, if you can distract a stranger, you can distract a ref. And then I said, God damn it. But yeah, it's a weird promo. I don't know why we needed this. Just show them fucking training or something. Like, you don't need this shit. So after that, we then got Cameron Grimes versus Ruefang.
Yeah, I keep feeling like we saw Ruefang recently.
Besides a match in the past couple weeks?
Well, yeah, like, I can't remember who he fought recently.
Let me see. Let me see. Ruefang. Tony D'Angelo.
Oh, okay. What happened to that, the guy who, remember when they made the big deal about the first Vietnamese wrestler?
A Singaporean.
Singaporean.
Yeah, well, they got their little spark from the diversity, and then they kept him backstage.
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha.
I have his name written down. Dante Chen. That's his name.
Yeah.
He had 2 matches. I think he had one on no. I think he had 2 matches on NXT TV. Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
Let me just make sure. Dante Chen. Oh no, he had 1 against Trey Baxter. The other one must have been on 205 Live or something.
Yeah. Anyways, so Grimes controls the first few minutes before getting kicked under the chin. And then the midsection. Duke comes out pretty shortly into this match and just kind of fucking watches.
Yeah, he doesn't interrupt. He's a good boy and he doesn't interrupt the match.
He's a good little lad. There's a hip toss to Rue and then some forearms. Grimes hits the crossbody and then the cave-in stomp and handily fucking wins the match.
Yeah. Giving a win for Cameron Grimes. And then Duke gets in the ring. And I kind of like this promo.
The longest promo that ever fucking existed on NXT.
But I kind of liked it. At least how it started out. Despite the what chants happening from everyone in the crowd, I liked that it wasn't immediate hostility, and Duke was just like, "You have to tell me, was it luck? or are you just that good? And Cameron played him a bit, and got the crowd going, and then we got this poker showdown something next week. Just have a match. Have a fucking match. What the fuck? Why are you in wrestling to gamble? I mean, Johnny Swinger was at Impact to gamble. I think at the start of the pandemic. But he wasn't there from the get-go to gamble. It was a comedy bit. It was a lounge in Impact where people could go to relax and gamble. But Johnny Swinger did more than just do that. It was more than his gimmick. Or his gimmick was more than that. This is like so dumb, and the segments are so bad too. Like, why does it look like it happens in a fucking black void? Have an actual set. Have a set, or like convert a lounge or something.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to have an answer because I love Duke. But like, at least Duke's getting a match is the one thing I can say here.
We don't know because it's not a match. It's a poker showdown or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
We don't know he's getting a match. That's why this sucks.
Anyways.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, no, this is you now.
Miriam said, it's clear Duke's poker room is purgatory for old NXT stars.
Oh.
Imagine we see Johnny there.
Of all the people, it really makes the most sense that it's Duke.
Yeah. So then we get Solo Sakoa versus Grayson Waller versus Ellie Knight in a triple threat match. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, bitches love Solo.
Yeah. I am bitches then.
You absolutely are bitches. So Sakoa slaps Grayson and then Knight before teeing off with some jabs to Knight's head. Then I haven't done that in a while. Grayson and Knight work together on Sakoa, only for Sakoa to double clothesline both of them. Sakoa handily suplexes Knight before placing some knees to his midsection. Waller ends up helping to load it. Helps to load Knight out of the ring. Hangs Solo up on the top rope. Together, Knight and Waller end up suplexing Solo, and the alliance reforms temporarily, only for Solo to slam both of them down from the top rope. And what I guess was supposed to kind of be like a choke slam. It just wasn't very clear.
Yeah.
Solo ends up launching Waller out of the ring to the ground, smacking his head on the ground. Before jumping down onto Knight with a frog splash to win.
Yeah. And he got Oost's chance the whole time in the match. So I can't wait for him to eventually join the Usos. It's going to be so cool.
Yeah.
After that, we had an interview with Indy Hartwell and Persia Perona. Tony D'Angelo walks in and he says, I was hoping I could run into Dexter, but him and Pete Dunne have been ducking me. When I'm done pummeling your husband, you're going to be back on the market. And speaking of market, I grabbed this up at the docks. Pulls out a fish. Says, give it to Dex for me. They're both staring at it like, what the fuck? Why did you give us a fish? But then we get Elektra Lopez versus some jobber.
I have two notes. Elektra dominates the entire fucking match, powerbombs this girl to win. And this was the beginning of the moment that I think my faith in NXT broke.
Yeah, so She dares Zion Quinn to come out, and I was like, yes, fight him. Fight Zion. That would be an awesome match and an awesome move from NXT.
And NXT said,
Well, first Zion comes out, and Elektra says, I like you, want you to join Legado. And Zion says, Legado's not really for me. It doesn't fit my vibe. And he starts to walk away. He's attacked by Legado, attacked by Wild and Mendoza.
Well, by Wild.
By Wild, and Wild yelled at Mendoza before Zion attacked both of them. And then Elektra tries to hit Zion, but he grabs her hands or her wrists and spins her around in like a fucking tango move.
It's very seductive.
Zion Quinn is a fucking monster of a human being and an absolute beast in the ring. And you're having him be a romantic figure like this?
Mark, let's be honest here. We are looking at the wrestling version of Match.com at this point.
I thought you were going to say the wrestling version of Fandango.
No, because Fandango's a wrestler.
Yeah.
And a good one.
They should have swapped fucking Zion Quinn's role here with Duke Hudson. Duke Hudson should be more of a romantic person than Zion Quinn. That's kind of how they had Duke Hudson presented at first. Okay. After that, we had a interview with Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle says, the official made a mistake. That's okay. I've made a lot of mistakes in my career. But the question is now, do I go into singles or do I stay in the tag team with Von Wagner? Imperium then walk in after Kyle mentions the tag team titles, and they're like, oh, the tag team titles. Von Wagner comes in and he's like, excuse me, eh? Just like, Von, were you standing there watching the whole time? Like, what is this?
Von's the weird fucking, like, possessive boyfriend of Kyle now.
This better be, like, Von Wagner is revealed to be, like, the dude from You. From that show.
Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a serial killer who's hiding bodies, and anyone who messes with Kyle gets fucking murdered.
You get put in the glass box. No. Oh. I literally have watched season 1 and that is it, but I know about the glass box and nothing more.
I've never watched that show.
It was... It was a show.
Okay.
That's what I'll give it.
I saw somebody on Twitter say who would win in a fight, Joe from You or Dexter from Dexter. And I was like, Dexter would easily mop the floor with that dude.
It was my first introduction to Victoria Pedretti, and I'm in love with her. So.
Oh,
she was in Haunting it. Yeah, she's in Haunting at Hill House or By Manor, whichever one. One of the two of them. I haven't seen either, so.
We should watch Dexter.
I watched some episodes when I was living with my sister for a little while.
I watched a couple. We gotta find out if the new season or the new reboot requires catching up. Anyway.
Well, the reboot's definitely the prequels, I think.
Is this a prequel or is this a continuation?
No, I think it's the prequel.
Okay. I'll look it up just to make sure. But our main event after that is Pete Dunne versus Carmelo Hayes. This match was a fucking banger. This was great. Fantastic stuff.
Yeehaw. It was. So Dunn flies into Carmelo to start the match off. Just begins stomping him. You get a foot to the head of Carmelo and a wrenching motion to the fingers. Later, Pete ends up stomping on said fingers. He wrenches the arm again over the top rope this time, which always makes me very uncomfortable because, like, the idea of rope burn like that. Like, I know it's not like a rope, but still.
Dexter New Blood is 10 years after the original series. Yeah, so.
And here I was, thinking it was a prequel. Imagine if I'd gone into it thinking that.
Oh, looks like we got some catching up to do.
Right, let's add it to the list of 500 other shows that we have to catch up on.
Yeah.
I like that, like, it was one of the shows was originally Game of Thrones, and then I accidentally watched the entire last season. And I was like, not worth it. I don't know what happens, but I know it's not worth it.
Yeah. I gave up trying to catch up after what I heard about the last season.
I straight up, what would happen is I would, like, go to my parents on the weekend, and then on Sundays I would drive back at, like, 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd get back to my sister's around 8. And that's when Game of Thrones would be starting. So I'd walk in, and her husband would be sitting there, like, watching it. I'd be like, well, I sleep on the couch, so I guess I'm sitting here watching it, too. Anyways, wrestling.
Yeah.
So he wrenches the arm of Carmelo over the top rope. We go ringside. Carmelo slams Pete into the apron, but he can't suplex him. Dunn instead hits him with an X-Plex, landing him on the apron. Eventually, Carmelo kind of turns the vibe around by hitting double knees to the chest of Pete. He goes off the ropes for a springboard lariat right into a fist from Pete. Pete ends up dropping Carmelo, stomps on Trick's hands because Trick's trying to fucking interfere. He then stomps on Carmelo's hands, and at this point, it kind of seems like Pete's kind of got shit under control.
Yeah.
Like, I liked that a lot. Carmelo, however, sends Pete into the ropes. Trick is waiting with his fucking shoe out like he was gonna do, like he did last time. But Dexter, who has been sitting on commentary for this whole match, stops Trick by fucking attacking him. And then a little gloved hand reaches up through the apron, grabbing Carmelo's foot, distracting him for like a hot second, and allowing Pete to get the bitter end to win. And who was that little gloved hand but Jonathan Garganathan?
And him and Dexter share thumbs up.
Honestly, if we're going to talk about any long-term storytelling, this is my favorite.
Yeah. I'm just glad Johnny's being used. I'm so glad.
I thought you said Gianni. I was like,
yeah.
I was worried. I still don't know if he's gonna stick around when the time comes.
I think it depends on how things work out with the main roster. All right, so this concludes our recap of today's NXT 2.0. Stick around, we've got our bests of the night. And if you have a question for our question segment, leave it in the chat now so that it'll be there when we get to the questions and answers portion.
Also, do you want to know something interesting?
Yes.
Victoria Pedretti is dating the boyfriend from Halloween Kills.
The boyfriend.
And Halloween. The one who's dating the granddaughter of Laurie.
One who's dating.
Is wearing the women's clothes for the Halloween costume.
Yes.
Yes. She's dating him.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Anyways, fun fact.
All right, so let's get into the best.
Yeah? Did we lose you?
Let's move on. So promo of the night. I don't know. That's it. I
You
don't
know?
know. Like everything had the hopes of it being good. The GYV stuff was just fucking weird. Chase U wasn't as good as it normally is. The Raquel stuff, the Raquel and Dakota stuff, I was very interested in until Cora Jade got involved. The MSK stuff was too short for it to be considered. And then all the interviews were kind of like pretty boring, pretty lame. God, you know what?
Something.
I'll go with Indian Persia being handed the fish.
Really?
Yeah,
Over
sure.
MSK.
MSK's was all right. I'll go
It
with
was not
MSK's.
that short.
I'll go with MSK's.
Thank you. I say it really wasn't that short at all. Also, fucking Nash is like popped up on something.
Yeah, he couldn't stop moving. He was like antsy.
Like an extra cup of coffee today or something.
Coffee with some cocaine in it.
Cocaine.
All right, so let's go to the wrestlers of the night. So I'm gonna give you a couple choices to pick from. And
As you often do.
Yes. Let's see. Who was the best tonight? Okay, I'm gonna give you 4.
Ooh.
Because the third is a little hard to choose. So, Casey Catanzaro, Solo Sakoa, Carmelo Hayes, and Pete Dunne.
I'm inclined to give it to Pete.
Pete? I kind of want to give it to Carmelo because he gave the fucking smoothest, I don't know what that move was, where he was like tornadoing around Pete, but that was the smoothest, quickest instance I've seen that. But Pete did do an awesome job. So
And it's his birthday.
It is his birthday. You know what? Happy birthday, Pete. You're our wrestler of the night tonight.
I hope that matters to you, Pete.
Yeah. All right, let's go to match of the night. So as always, we go from the worst to the best, and then Liz will say if she agrees with my pick for the best wrestler or best match of the night. So, worst match with a 3 out of 10, Boa versus Joe Gacy. This could have been an excellent match. Like, it really could have been if they had Boa either destroy Gacy when he went, full demon, or if they just had it be a clean match, it would have been awesome. But no, they had it end in DQ in a really dumb way, and basically copying Finn's gimmick. Next up, 4 out of 10, Elektra Lopez versus Jobber. It did what it needed to do. Elektra looked good. Next up, 4 out of 10, Cameron Grimes versus Ruefang. Same deal. Jobber match did what it needed to do. Glad it wasn't interrupted. Next, 4 out of 10, Jacket Time versus the Creed brothers. This would have been much, much, much higher had Roddy not involved somehow with his telepathy or telekinesis, whatever he used. This could have been so amazing. It was on the track. It was on the right track. But no. Next up, 5 out of 10, Solo Sakoa versus Grayson Waller versus Ellie Knight. This is a decent enough match. I feel like we now have the impression that you throw Solo Sakoa in the ring with anyone in a singles match, it will be a fucking great match. But yeah, it didn't do a whole lot, but it was kind of entertaining. It was decent. Next up, 5 out of 10, Toxic Attraction versus Casey, Kaden, and Io. It was pretty decent. What was that? What was that face?
I didn't make a well-crafted cocktail.
Ah, okay. All right. Anyway. Next up, we've got a 6 out of 10 Kaylie Ray versus Saree. Fun match. Really fun. Give these ladies more time and they'll put on a fucking banger. And then finally, my pick for match of the night, and I'm pretty sure it's yours too, with an 8 out of 10, Pete Dunne versus Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, I don't think there's any contest there.
This was just a fucking amazing match. All right, so run it back. Promo of the night: MSK goes to find Rob Van Dam. Wrestler of the night: Pete Dunne. Match of the night: Pete Dunne versus Carmelo Hayes. All right. You want to answer some questions?
I'll answer a question.
So JR242 Ted asks, can I get your reaction to a clip of my WWE characters intro? We don't allow links in the chat, so unfortunately that's gonna be a no. Unless you want to explain it to us.
We can also look at it and talk about it Friday when we have our next match.
Yeah, match. There we go. You and me. We're going at it.
Next podcast when Mark and I brawl. Also, is it like a WWE 2K20 type deal? Is that
That's
what
I'm
is?
assuming.
Because we can also talk about it tomorrow when we have our WWE 2K20.
Yeah, got our stream tomorrow.
Stream? I can't say anything right.
You can never say stream. You always say podcast. You're like a boomer.
Well, no, I said pay-per-view this time.
You said pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Oh. I just heard the P.
I said it very quietly, and I was like, I hope nobody hears this.
So Miriam then asked, where is William Regal? They announced WarGames without him.
What is the point of having War Games if William Regal is not going to stand there and scream War Games?
Yeah, where is Regal? Like, they haven't given any explanation as to where he is. He hasn't been at 2.0 at all.
Maybe their fresh look is that there's not an old man in charge.
Maybe the paint on the NXT 2.0 logo is dyed blood of William Regal. They had to sacrifice him.
He was the sacrificial lamb.
He was a sacrificial lamb to sacrifice Samoa Joe to the hospital.
Oh. So sad.
But yeah, I don't know. I hope they do have him appear like sometime before WarGames to just yell WarGames or at the pay-per-view. But worst case, we got Wade Barrett.
He did say War Games, and he's also got an accent, so like it counts for something.
You just gotta scream it.
Yeah, I don't know if we're ever gonna see Regal again. Honestly,
it's very weird
really
because without Regal, we don't have a GM on TV.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think that Regal's coming back. It really doesn't seem to fit the 2.0 image.
But
even though it was like one of the best things.
Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know. I mean, I get pulling Samoa Joe if he wasn't injured, because he wouldn't really fit the brand image as an enforcer kind of thing. But why Regal? I don't know. Miriam said, I'm starting to think Mackenzie Mitchell is the new Regal, the way we see her more than Regal.
She's doing the most. She really is.
Yeah. She's probably my favorite interviewer. She's so good.
She's got so much chemistry.
Yeah. And she's tired of everyone's shit.
So really, she is the new Regal.
Yeah.
Good for her. She just has to learn how to say WarGames with enough bravado.
You know how we said we might do a weekend indie random show podcast? We should do one episode that's just a compilation of William Regal moments.
Sure. I can't say no to that.
All right. Well, that does it for us tonight. Liz, would you like to close out the show?
Yes. If you're watching tonight, thank you so much. And if you're watching in the future, thank you so much. We enjoy having you here. Happy...
I don't.
Okay. Happy, fuck.
Marks.
I get my COVID booster shot tomorrow, so happy that. Pray for me, because I'm gonna fucking need it. If you enjoyed the show, tune in on tomorrow. We have our WWE 2K20 stream.
Or don't.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a thing, I guess.
You won't want to you won't want to tune in for me just crushing Liz in the ratings. It's earned so much more money than her. You won't want to tune in for that. It'll be a slaughter.
Remember when Cody no-sold your fucking Fiend debut?
Yeah, and it was great because it built up to Fiend letting Cody win a match.
It really worked out. I'm happy for you.
And now we've got Survivor Series coming up where I will especially crush you. Because then we'll actually be having matches.
That's how it's gone the last two pay-per-views. You're right.
I mean...
you lost the last two pay-per-views.
Listen. Anyway.
Hopefully I win so I can finally add Kenta. And then steal Kenta. Haha.
We'll see.
Heist. Please tune in tomorrow while we do WWE 2K20 stuff.
Right after
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Dynamite. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then please tune in on Friday when we talk about the other shit that's happening. Also, I guess we should talk about this now. Saturday?
Is that confirmed?
I've confirmed on my end of things.
With our guest?
That part hasn't been confirmed.
That's the important part.
Right. But the other part that's just us, that is not contingent upon.
Yeah, we can do that. I just have
Hope everybody's enjoying this internal conversation.
What we're talking about is doing a Full Gear post show. I just have a very, very early morning on the day after that. Not very early, not 5 a.m., but it'll still be kind of early, but it's whatever.
Okay.
I'm just hoping. Are we doing predictions for it?
No. I thought we would just enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that. Do a Full Gear post show. Something for you folks.
Just a little something, something.
A little something.
And we might have somebody with us. It
fellow wrestling fan.
Yeah, it depends on some stuff. We just have to figure things out. But yeah, so a lot of wrestling this week. Please make sure to join us. We will be tweeting all about it on our Twitter. Marcus, would you like to talk about our Twitter?
No.
Okay.
Our Twitter is @Pinfall Podcast. It's right down below if you're watching on the stream or on YouTube. If you're listening in the audio realm, you're relying on me right now. So our Twitter is @Pinfall Podcast. You marks. Our YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast. You can see all of our previous episodes there. If you want to check out the live show, talk to us live, it's twitch.tv/the Pinfall Podcast. Oh, Liz, that is such a shame. That is such a shame. You left up the news sign. You were way behind.
Fuck!
If you want to listen to us in the audio realm, that is on Spotify, the Pinfall Podcast. Just search that, and boom, you'll be right there listening to us in your beautiful headset, your earbuds, and your speaker. You'll hear our beautiful voices, but you won't see our beautiful faces. If you think our faces are beautiful.
Actually, the cover art for our podcast is our beautiful faces. So
you could stare at that. Like I already said, our Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. I'm at TheMarkCameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. We'll see you tomorrow for our 2K20 Battle of the Brands at twitch.tv/the Pinfall Podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great night, and we'll see you after Dynamite.